Hi, my name is Nick Yamuchi. I'm a senior, and I'm doing my topic on the politics of French Polynesia. So, some general information. Um, French Polynesia is a country of 118 islands and atolls, and supposedly 67 of them are inhabited. Um, so, in 1946, it became an overseas territory of France under the French Fourth Republic. Um, and that was called the French Establishments in Oceania. And it was later renamed French Polynesia in 1957. So in 2003, it became an overseas collectivity of France, basically meaning it's not a territory, it's basically like it's France, but it's just in the middle of the ocean. Um, Total population of French Polynesia is about 280,000 as of July 2014. So I'm focusing on the Society Islands, which is basically the main islands of French Polynesia. There's Tahiti, Moorea, Huahine, Raiatea, Taha'a, and Bora Bora. And pretty much the main island is Tahiti. When people refer to French Polynesia, they refer to Tahiti. So the capital is Papeete. The population there is about 137,000, so it's pretty big, a lot bigger than Hilo. Um, and there's two main ethnic groups. You have 78% of the population is Polynesian, 12% is Chinese, 6% is local French, and 4% is metropolitan French. The Chinese came in there to work on the plantations, pretty sure, but I know there's a large population of Chinese people down there. It's pretty interesting. They have two official languages, one being French. 61% of the people speak French, and 31% speak Polynesian, or people refer to it as Tahitian. Um, and there's a map. You can see the islands. Tahiti's way at the bottom right. You have Moorea. Up there you have Huahine, and then there's Bora Bora. Uturoa is also called Raiatea, and then there's Taha'a right above it. I threw this picture in. This is the harbor in Papeete because that is the lifeline to French Polynesia. A lot of the things are imported. In fact, probably most of the things are imported besides agricultural stuff. It's all imported from New Zealand, France, US, you name it. So a lot of the political pressure comes from things associated with basically this port because that's where everything comes in and everything goes out. It's just like us in Hawaii. We're so dependent on outside sources for food, fuel, all that kind of stuff. Um, Here's the administration currently. You have the French president over there with the glasses on, Francois Hollande. Um, and then next to him, you have the current French Polynesian president, Eduardo Fritsch. He's been in politics his whole life in Tahiti. He's been head of the assembly. He's been like a commissioner. Now he's president. And I couldn't find a picture of Marcel, but he's the legislative branch. He is not on Google for some reason. So basically, France controls justice, education, security, and defense. Um, and the Polynesian government, controls everything else. And this leads to some like friction, kind of like because people want to be there's pro-independent people and there's people who are opposed to independence. So it leads to um, a lot of political crap. It's just like here with the Democrats and Republicans over here. It's the same exact thing. It's just a bunch of men bickering back and forth, and men and women bickering back and forth about things. Um, this is a pretty big thing because every year they have elections, and it's always changing pretty much almost every year because people are either pro-independence or they're opposed to independence for whatever various reasons. And I can see some points people make because technically, French Polynesia is a far way away from France, but yet the French government controls, important factors of their life like education, justice, and they're in Europe. They're really far away. So, what do they have to do with anything down in Tahiti? Um, so what this means for French Polynesia? So there's like 5 or 6 political parties, um, and they're similar, but they all have small points where they want aspect of education that goes this way or something of healthcare that goes this way. So there's like 6 political parties over here. There's like Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, Independents. We only have 4. They have a lot more down there. So there's a lot of division between the political parties. There's frequent change in leadership. Pretty much every year, every 2 years, the president is always changing hands. In 2007, this guy Oscar Temaru was for independence, and the next year, this other guy was elected, Gaston Tong Sang. In 2008, he was opposed to independence. Right now, currently, there's a guy, Eduardo Fritsch. He's pro-French. I'm not really sure what that means. Like, is he opposed to independence, or he's just pro-French? He likes France, but maybe he wants more independence. I don't know. And there's a lot of corruption. So, one of the former presidents, Gaston Flossie, is facing corruption charges. And currently, he's banned from holding office for 3 years. And this picture is the former French president who is also convicted. I don't know if he was convicted. Something came up about corruption charges with this guy for illegal campaign funding or something. That's Nicolas Sarkozy. He's the former French president. He was convicted of corruption. He had to pay some fines, I think, and his image was kind of tarnished after that. So French Polynesia is a diverse political place in the Pacific. They have a lot of people who have strong opinions about being pro-independence or opposed to independence. So that leads to a lot of change in leadership every year. The legislative branch, the executive branch is always changing. And I think one of the main factors is because they're so far away from resources like how we are in Hawaii, that they are so heavily influenced by the French and by New Zealand and Australia and Hawaii, the U.S. So they have all these outside factors coming in all at the same time, and these people are just trying to make everybody happy, and it's very hard when different times of the year there's certain political pressure than other times of the year. It's a rough life down there for a politician in French Polynesia. That's my presentation. Hope you liked it. It's pretty interesting doing an online presentation. I've never done this before. Yeah. Thank you. How do I get out of this now?